The gun was supposed to be empty. I was told I was handed an empty gun.
In October 2021, a tragic accident on the set of the movie Rust shocked the world. Cinematographer Halyna was fatally shot, and actor Alec Baldwin found himself at the center of a legal storm. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the Alec Baldwin case and the recent developments that have everyone talking. Let's start from the beginning. During a rehearsal on the set of Rust, Alec Baldwin was handling a prop gun that discharged, tragically killing Halyna and injuring director Joel Souza. The incident raised immediate questions about safety protocols on film sets. Baldwin claimed he was told the gun was cold, meaning it was safe to use. However, the investigation revealed a series of lapses in safety measures. Fast forward to the courtroom. Baldwin faced charges of involuntary manslaughter. The prosecution argued that Baldwin's negligence led to Hutchins' death. But the case took a dramatic turn. Baldwin's defense team accused the prosecution of withholding crucial evidence. This led to a significant development. Judge Mary Marlowe Summer dismissed the case against Baldwin, citing misconduct by the police and prosecutors. The defense argued that evidence related to live rounds was not disclosed, impacting the fairness of the trial. This decision has sparked a lot of debate. Some believe justice was served, while others feel the case was mishandled from the start. The dismissal was based on procedural issues, not the merits of the case. It raises questions about the integrity of the investigation. It's a reminder of the importance of transparency in legal proceedings. The defense had a right to all evidence, and its concealment undermined the trial. So what's next for Alec Baldwin? While the case against him is dismissed, the incident has left a lasting impact on Hollywood and the film industry. The Rust incident has led to increased scrutiny on safety protocols in the film industry. New measures are being implemented to prevent such tragedies in the future. Thank you for joining us as we unpack this complex and emotional case. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on high-profile cases and Hollywood news. Stay tuned for more in-depth stories and analyses. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe.
That the prosecution suppressed her because it's why I'm dismissal with prejudice is a very extreme sanction, and dismissal with prejudice is a very extreme sanction, and case law is very clear that because it's a very extreme sanction, very clear that dismissal with prejudice is a very extreme sanction, and case law is very clear that because it's very extreme, I have to go through every single element, and I have to make a very good record as to why I'm seeing what I'm seeing. So, in order to establish a Brady violation, the defendant must show that the prosecution suppressed evidence, the evidence was favorable to the accused, and the evidence was material to the defense. So let's go through the elements. Suppression of evidence. The definition of suppression of elements, this is Case versus Hatch, is while the first element requires proof that the prosecution suppressed or withheld the evidence in question, it does not require a finding of bad faith or any other culpable state of mind on the part of the prosecutor. This prong is satisfied. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office and the prosecution failed to disclose the supplemental report to defense and provide defense an opportunity to inspect the rounds collected into evidence that Mr. Teske gave. Is the evidence favorable to the accused? The second Brady element is whether the suppressed evidence was favorable to the accused, either as impeachment or exculpatory evidence. This prong is satisfied. The suppressed evidence is favorable to the accused. It is impeachment evidence. has even been offered in this trial as impeachment evidence and is potentially exculpatory to the defense. Critically, the exculpatory value cannot be analyzed at such a late juncture because of the non-disclosure. Is the evidence material? While post-trial discovery of evidence under Brady requires a reasonable probability that the result of the proceeding would have been different, discovery of evidence during trial requires an evaluation of whether the late tender has impeded the effective use of evidence in such a way that it impacts the fundamental fairness of the proceedings, and that is State v. Huerta Castro. This evidence is material. The late discovery of this evidence during trial has impeded the effective use of evidence in such a way that it has impacted the fundamental fairness of the proceedings. The defense is not in a position to test the state's theory as to the source of the live rounds that killed Ms. Hutchins. I'm also going to take a look at Harper, State v. Harper. The assessment of sanctions depends upon the extent of the government's culpability, weighed against the amount of prejudice to the state, quoting Chenard. Let's go through culpability. Our case law generally provides that the refusal to comply with a district court's discovery order only rises to the level of exclusion or dismissal where the state's conduct is especially culpable, such as where evidence is unilaterally withheld by the state in bad faith, or all access to the evidence is precluded by state intransience. The state is highly culpable for its failure to provide this discovery to the defendant. The state unilaterally withheld a supplemental report. Santa Fe County Sheriff's Officer made the decision, and apparently also with the prosecutor, as pursuant to Hancock's testimony, that the evidence was of no evidentiary value and failed to connect the evidence to the instant case. The case agent, as well as pursuant to Hancock's testimony, Ms. Morrissey, was aware of the new evidence and yet did not make an effort to disclose it to defense. The state's willful withholding of this information was intentional and deliberate. If this conduct does not rise to the level of bad faith, it certainly comes so near to bad faith as to show signs of scorching. Prejudice. When discovery has been produced late, prejudice does not accrue unless the evidence is material and the disclosure is so late that it undermines the defendant's preparation for trial. The court concludes that this conduct is highly prejudicial to the defendant. The jury has been sworn, jeopardy has attached, and this disclosure during the course of trial is so late that it undermines the defendant's preparation for trial. There is no way for the court to right this wrong. Lesser sanctions under Harper. Trial courts possess broad discretionary authority to decide what sanction to impose when a discovery order is violated. State v. Lemire. The sanction of dismissal is the only warranted remedy. The jury has been sworn, jeopardy has attached, and a mistrial would not be based upon manifest necessity. Further, the sanction of dismissal is warranted in this case. The state has repeatedly made representations to defense and to the court that they were compliant with all their discovery obligations. Despite their repeated representations, they have continued to fail to disclose critical evidence to the defendant. Brady and Harper are satisfied. Dismissal with prejudice is warranted.